direction of money. Is it possible?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question to pose, because when I look at the response to George Floyd, it's kind of like this. People are looking around and they're like, oh, you see this money? Throw it over the fence real quick. Throw it to BET. Throw it to SF. Throw it to Univision.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of it so we're not holding it, because we never gave it to them in the first
Like a hot
place.
potato?
Right. 30% of our revenue comes from multicultural audiences. We're spending 2%. So it's just like, just clean the money. It's just and then it's like they kind of gave people Kevin Hart look, like, okay, like, we're doing it. It's like, no, you're not.
Thank me for being so magnanimous. Yeah.
Right, and to your point, the systems were never ready for it, because most of the enterprises don't face the world the way their consumers face them. They have a diverse consumer audience. They don't face it. They don't know how to speak to them. They're just throwing money over the fence with not an understanding of return, and a lot of times they weren't even accountable for it. They just didn't want to be holding the bag like they were no longer compliant, like all the history being written. We just live in a country where, in particular, even in media, where everything is treated like the land, like land. So it's like, oh, multicultural side, oh, we need that real estate. We need that land. We don't really care about it, but we need it because it's worth something. And the people who are trying to make a land grab, I'm not mad at it. That's what you're supposed to do in business, is acquire things that go up in valuation. But if you can't face the world the way it faces you, you can't properly represent it, you can't properly speak to it, you're basically just going to screw it up. And look, if the land changes, like a commercial real estate, you just get rid of it and pick up the next piece. Well, you've done a disservice to the people who have represented and helped build it, driving the narrative, because now it wasn't deemed of value because it wasn't properly represented right, the execution against it wasn't all the way through. So now people question, well, should we have done it in the first place? And my thing is, there are plenty of people in the sector with depth of expertise of what it is supposed to look like. And those are the ones who have to execute it first. I don't have a problem with other people joining the sandbox, but you can't have people who have zero intentionality around its success all of a sudden capturing opportunity that necessarily wasn't designated for them first out the gate, because the initial cost to the marketplace was, we need to right-size this picture and be more inclusive and undo the exclusionary execution, investment, participation that had been happening since the beginning. And I think that has just been the frustration, is like, you don't know what you're doing. You barely know what you are told. But now you're in the way of operators who have an impassioned cause to really support this and build out this opportunity.
So we've seen